What's going on, everybody? I'm Gregory Hill, and this is Midday Midweek, the show where we have two small fun stories that will never be about Trump, followed by a big story that will most likely always be about Trump. Another world record was set by Ashrita Furman on Friday when he did this. You know when you're a kid and you buy the Guinness Book of World Records at the Scholastic Book Fair, and you and your friends go through it, trying to figure out which records you can break, ultimately realizing that you can't break any records, so you have to make up one on the spot? Should have thought of that one. Furman set a record by slicing 50 watermelons in half with a machete off a person's head, ultimately answering the question, how many guys does it take to cut in half watermelons off a person's head? 11. 11's the answer. Thanks. At least one of those guys was thinking when he put on oven mitts to put the watermelon on the guy's head, just in case the sword cuts through him, because, you know, oven mitts will save you. I just want to know how you ask the dude underneath the watermelon, you're like, hey man, you know, I'm doing this cool thing, you know, I would love you to be a part of it. It would just be really cool. Why don't you show up and then I'll tell you all about it 30 seconds before we do it. Well, we shouldn't be surprised, because this is the same guy who set the record 2 years ago for cutting watermelons on himself. Hi. 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 What do you got against watermelons, man? He holds records like most eggs blown upside down in a cup in 1 minute, most blowtorches extinguished with the tongue in 1 minute, longest time to hula hoop underwater. How do you even think of that? I just thought about like a giant leapfrog chain for a couple miles with my friends. We never tried it. Would have been disastrous. The Americans set the record in Malaysia because that shit ain't legal in the US. Come on, read your constitution. All the watermelon was used in a fruit salad at the resort they were staying at, which wants you to always ask, how is this a watermelon cut? A man from Rhode Island found a message in a bottle that washed up on the shore. He said a woman was saying goodbye to a friend that just passed away. He posted this on Facebook to find the original person who wrote it so he could try to give it back to them, which is the same exact plot as the Nicholas Sparks novel and movie Message in a Bottle. It's just that Robin Wright found the letter and then it accidentally got published. She didn't know about it at her newspaper company. And then she went to find the person who wrote it so she could do a story. And then she knocked on Kevin Costner's door and he answered it. And then they were doing the story. And then they fell in love because I guess when you look at Kevin Costner's glazed over eyes, you always fall in love. At least that's the trend in movies. Kevin Costner was nominated for a Golden Raspberry for Worst Actor of the Year, which he eventually lost, which 2 years ago Donald Trump won for playing himself while he was president. All this to say, Todd, if you ever walk in and you find Kevin Costner, avoid his glazed over eyes or else you may make love on a sweet, sweet boat. His name's Todd, by the way. I didn't say that before. The guy who found the message. Todd. Donald Trump continued his coronavirus briefings after abandoning them months ago by telling people to drink bleach. Trump changed his tone and told people to wear masks and social distance, which I can't tell if I'm relieved or if I'm scared, because that's what all bad guys do before they kill everybody in horror movies.
I bet I could cheer him up. I'll give him a balloon.
My administration will stop at nothing to save lives.
It's like saying you'll finally wear condoms after you got your girlfriend pregnant. Sorry, bud. A little too late.
If you watch American television, you think that the United States was the only country involved with and suffering from the China virus.
I want to know what's happening here because I live here. It's not like I turn on the Weather Channel and hope that I find out the weather Uruguay. Ooh, partly cloudy. Nice, Montevideo. He kept on referring to the signs behind him, but they were always split. So you couldn't really see what they were unless you put them apart and put them together. Which maybe was his way of making us do the cognitive test. So, thanks, bud. Keeping me on my toes. He said we were doing better in testing out of any country in the Western Hemisphere. But then he put up a chart with almost no countries on the Western Hemisphere. He had India, Italy, South Korea, Japan. The only other country on there that's fully in the Western Hemisphere is Canada.
We are imploring young Americans to avoid packed bars and other crowded indoor gatherings.
Like Trump rallies.
We have the military ready to go, waiting for the vaccine so they can distribute it in record time. That's what's going to happen. So our military is all set to go.
So the military is going to deliver the vaccine. I guess that's good, because they're quick and you never know they're there.
NLG will get you out. Oh, fuck.
NLG.
Shh, it's a secret. At the end of Trump's planned speech, he thanked everyone on staff, including all the doctors.
I will say this. I want to thank all of the staff, the White House staff, all of the doctors that we've been working with so closely.
Why are your doctors not with you here today? Where's Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx?
Well, Dr. Birx is right outside. Yes, please.
Hey, I don't blame him. Dr. Fauci is very intimidating.
Dr. Anthony Fauci.
This guy wouldn't stop talking.
Disease that should have never been allowed to escape China, but it did.
I don't know why they couldn't contain it. They have such a big wall. And that shit's actually built. And then he said this.
We've done more testing by far than anybody. Some of the tests, because it is massive volume, it takes longer. Others of the tests, as you know, are very quick. They're 5 minutes and 15-minute tests. And those are, frankly, the ones that I prefer.
That's like going to McDonald's and them asking, do you want it in 5 minutes or 21 days? I don't want a moldy Big Mac. Of course I'm choosing 5 minutes. What's wrong with you?
I have no problem with the masks. I wear it. You saw me wearing it a number of times.
Twice. So I wear it twice. The guess is numerous, so I guess you're right there. I thought he was done, but he wasn't.
Well, the stock market had another good day. I think they have a good day because they see a lot of positive things happening on this front, too.
I don't know if he knows how the stock market works. I think he thinks it's like two chill guys on their mom's couch being like, hey, Chad, it seems pretty positive here. Give him the up button. Go ahead, hit it. Positivity. So Trump and the coronavirus briefings are back, which means comedy's back, baby! But of course, look things up, because they're not all real, he says. That's my 3 stories of the week. Again, this is Ian Gregory Hill with Midday Midweek. Wash your hands, wear a mask. I'll see you all next week. Hasta la vista, baby.